Like.
No, you can put yes on that.
Yeah.
These two.
Bang the gavel hard like 3 or 4 times. That's not hard.
That's better, okay. It's March 6, 2019, 7:04 PM. I call the council meeting to order. Roll call.
Bennett.
Here.
Bertolo.
Here.
Lane.
Here.
Mealy.
Here.
Sinning.
Here.
Witecki.
Here.
Matthews.
Here. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the annual schedule of regular meetings herefore adopted and posted on the public bulletin board at the municipal building, emailed to the Hawthorne Press, the Herald News, the Record, the Gazette, and all persons who requested the mailing of such schedule, and a copy of said schedule is remained on file in the office of the Borough Clerk from and since November 28, 2018. Resolution for approval. We have R 59-19, acknowledge students participating in the 2019 Youth in Government Program. We have Mayor Richard Goldberg, his student. I was going to read it first, then take the motion.
Council President?
I was going to give it, I'm not turning it over to them.
Okay.
Aubrey Lewis is portraying the mayor. Bianca Corbo is Council President Matthews. Caitlin Carone is Vice President Bertolo. Adriana Ramos is Bruce Bennett, Councilman Bruce Bennett. Maria Angelis Molini is Councilman John Lane. Kaylee Rica is Councilman Dominic Mealy. Leila Kawash is Councilman Gary Sinning. Jimene Gonzalez is Councilman Joe Witecki. Josh Kabuski is Borough Administrator Eric Maurer. Nick Spavatsky is Borough Attorney Michael Pasquale. Alexandria Claveo is Borough Engineer Mike Kelly. Alex Nadarashvili, I'm sorry about that one. Borough Clerk Lori DeBella. Aaron Foley is CFO Lori Foley. Rich McAuliffe is Ezekiel Soma. And Chris LaRosa is Director Robert Scully. Before we, can I have a motion?
Second.
Motion by Bertolo, second by Lane. Roll call.
Witecki.
Yes.
Sinning.
Yes.
Mealy.
Yes.
Lane.
Yes.
Bertolo.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Matthews.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Before we turn the meeting over to our student counterparts, Mayor wanted to just have a couple moments to state some comments regarding this week's incident.
Thank you, Council President. On Monday morning, one of our DPW servicemen, Donald Turner Jr., was injured while operating a Bobcat to clear snow from the footbridge owned by the state of New Jersey at Ethel Avenue across State Route 208. When it fell through the bridge, an accident which also injured 2 individuals traveling on Route 208 in a truck. I have no information available this time on the injuries suffered by the 3 individuals. The Borough of Hawthorne is still gathering information regarding the accident and will await the issuance of reports by the Hawthorne Police Department, the New Jersey Department of Transportation, and the other entities investigating the accident before commenting further in detail. Please keep all of them in your prayers and thoughts, and I want to thank the police, fire, and ambulance for their professional actions and response. Thank you, Council President.
We'll keep everyone in our thoughts and prayers. Now, I want to turn the meeting over to Council President Bianca Corbo. The meeting is yours.
Thank you. Approval of minutes. Approved minutes of the regular meeting of February 6, 2019.
Motion.
Second. Motion by Jimena Gonzalez, second by
Adriana Ramos.
Adriana Ramos. Roll call.
Ramos,
Yes.
Carone,
Yes.
Molinelli,
Yes.
Riga,
Yes.
Kawash,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Corbo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Public comment. I will now open the meeting to the public. If anyone desires to be heard, please raise your hand to be recognized. Come forward to the microphone and state your name and address. Seeing none, I entertain a motion to close the public comment.
Motion by. Yes.
Motion.
Oh. Motion by Jimena Gonzalez, second by Adriana Ramos. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Adoption of ordinances. Bond ordinance number 2221-19. Bond ordinance providing for a road reconstruction, including milling, paving, and resurfacing, as well as curbing, handicapped ramps, and related improvements on various streets and properties described herein or hereafter identified, all in and by the Borough of Hawthorne in the County of Passaic, New Jersey, approaching $1,060,000 for therefore, and authorizing the insurance of bonds or notes of the borough for financing the same. Public hearing. I will now open the meeting to the public. If anyone desires to be heard regarding this ordinance, please raise your hand to be recognized. Come forward to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I entertain a motion that the public hearing on this ordinance be closed, and that it be resolved that this ordinance was posted on the bulletin board on which public notices are customarily posted, published in the Hawthorne Press and available on the borough website. Copies of said ordinance were made available to the general public. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this ordinance be adopted and the clerk is authorized to advertise the same according to law.
Motion.
Motion.
Okay, 1 second. After you get the motion, say, is there any discussion?
Okay.
Now say that.
Is there any discussion? No?
Now call.
Okay. Roll call.
Yes.
Ramos.
Quick, sell it.
We need a second.
Second by.
Okay.
Somebody over here. Second.
Wait, second. I said second.
You cannot be John Lane. No.
We'll continue with roll call. Ramos,
Yes.
Carone,
Yes.
Molinelli,
Yes.
Rica,
Yes.
Kawash,
Yeah.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Corbo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Bond ordinance number 2223-19. Bond ordinance providing for improvements to the Passaic Avenue storm sewer system and work incidental thereto, all in and by the Borough of Hawthorne in the County of Passaic, New Jersey, appropriating $120,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of bonds or notes of the borough for financing the same. Public hearing. I will now open the meeting to the public. If anyone desires to be heard regarding this ordinance, please raise your hand to be recognized. Come forward to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I entertain a motion that the public hearing on this ordinance be closed and that it be resolved that this ordinance was posted on the bulletin board on which public notices are customarily posted, published in a Hawthorne Press and available on the borough website. Copies of said ordinance were made available to the general public. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this ordinance be adopted and the clerk is authorized to advise the same according to the law.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by, who said it?
Me. Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, second by
Maria.
Maria. Roll call. Can't tell.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Kawash,
Yes.
Rica,
Yes.
Molinelli,
Yes.
Carone,
Yes.
Ramos,
Yes.
Corbo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance number 2224-19, an ordinance to amend Chapter 399 of the Code of the Borough of Hawthorne, Sewers and Sewerage Disposal, Article 4, Building Sewers and Connections, Section 399-20, Cost of Connection and Installation, so as to add Section E, setting forth the responsibility to make repair or replacement of any sewer lateral or obligation for payment of cost associated with the same. Public hearing. I will now open the meeting to the public. If anyone desires to be heard regarding this ordinance, please raise your hand to be recognized. Come forward to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I entertain a motion that the public hearing on this ordinance be closed and that it be resolved that this ordinance was posted on the bulletin board on which public notices are customarily posted, published on the Hawthorne Press, and available on the borough website. Copies of said ordinance were made available to the general public. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this ordinance be adopted and the clerk is authorized to advise the same according to law.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Jimena Gonzalez, second by Adriana Ramos. Roll call?
Ramos,
Yes.
Carone,
Yes.
Molinelli,
Yes.
Rika,
Yes.
Kawash,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Corbo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Old business?
All right.
Okay. Maria?
Eric, did we receive the CEO for the new DPW building?
As of last week, no, but we will check in on the progress.
The testing of the portable generators, is there a log?
Yes.
Are they being tested every 2 weeks?
I believe they were tested monthly, yes.
Is there any update on the parking on Fifth Ave?
No, we will discuss it with the ordinance committee.
Okay, thank you.
Old business?
No.
Old business?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah? Oh, I guess Okay, I'd like to ask Eric if he found out anything about the detour sign on Ray Ave that has been there for a couple of months.
Gary still can't find his way home.
The project has been completed and we will be removing the sign. The sign is actually gone.
I have old business as well. Okay. Follow up on the Patriot Estate property maintenance.
Code enforcement reported that before the snow, the tile in the driveway still hadn't been cleaned up as promised, so the new owner will receive a notice. The building department received a demolition permit application, but are still awaiting receipt of all utility shutoff letters before issuing the permit.
Follow up on transmission shop.
The business owner will be in court tomorrow. Code enforcement continues to write summonses. State Division of Consumer Affairs has now gotten involved and written summons.
Follow up on 46 Outlook property maintenance.
Code enforcement reports that both sides of this two-family house have now been cleaned up.
All right. Follow up on property markers behind Brookside.
We received the county survey of the park, which shows that the park property extends to where the middle of the brook was in 1951, rather than merely to the middle of the brook now, which is what at least some of the deeds say. We will be following up on this with the county after doing some more research.
All right. Damaged sign at 111 Wagra Road for 3 months.
The administration will look into this and report back at the next meeting.
Property maintenance needs to go.
The administration.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay. Any new business?
Eric, is there?
Sorry, you're going last. You have new business?
Darn. I do have new business. Thank you to the DPW, best looking snow clear roads in Passaic, Bergen, in Essex County. And then it says Cedar Ave has new gas mark outs. We just finished paving it.
That's all. New business? Caitlin?
Let him answer.
There was no question. There was no questions.
We will look into the mark out on Cedar Ave.
Okay.
Okay. New business?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any update when the PSNG will start the gas line work on the streets of Lafayette Ave?
Later this month, property owners will be notified.
Thank you.
Public hearing 2019 Passaic County Open Space Grant application. This application was also submitted in 2018 and requests funds for area lighting for the bandshell walkway to allow attendees to find their way safely back to parking when events end after dark. Administrator Kubeski, you have comments?
The project proposed for this year's application to Passaic County's Open Space Grant Program is a repeat of one of two submitted last year. The borough is requesting funding for pathway lighting at the new bandshell to provide safer exiting the facility after evening events. Assuming receipt of funds from the county, construction would begin in spring of 2020. Last year's grant was for a new surface for the borough tennis courts.
Public hearing. I will now open the meeting to the public. If anyone desires to be heard regarding this grant application, please raise your hand to be recognized. Come forward to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I entertain a motion that the public hearing be closed.
Motion?
Motion by Jimena Gonzalez, second by Kylie Rica. Motion carries. Roll call.
All in favor.
Oh, all in favor?
Discussion.
Discussion?
Yeah, it's just, okay. We the residents notified neighbors. And then that's all.
Okay.
Were the residents notified neighbors?
I don't know. Okay. Administrator Kubeski, were the residents notified?
I'm so sorry.
The neighbors?
It was handled by the clerk's office.
We mailed the notice on 20th to the residents around the area. There.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Anything else?
The electric should be taken from the pool panel due to the voltage drop of the line.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Administrative agenda presented by Mayor Aubrey Lewis.
Thank you, Council President. Administrative agenda for March 6, 2019. I'd like to start this evening by reporting that Hawthorne was named in SafeWise's 100 Safest Cities in America 2019. Hawthorne comes as number 17. You can read the article at www.safewise.com, and we have a link on our website. On Saturday evening, I had the pleasure of attending a dinner honoring our Chief of Police, Richard McAuliffe, by the Passaic County Police and Fire Emerald Society. It was a great evening, and all of us in attendance were proud of our chief and his many, many accomplishments, and we all had a great evening, great food and music. The Junior Police Academy program begins on March 11th, and applications are available on the borough's website, at police headquarters, and at the Boys and Girls Club. Applications have to be returned no later than this Friday, March 8th. Reminder, applications with SI are being accepted in my office until March 11th for the New Jersey State League of Municipalities $1,000 scholarship competition. Details can be found on our website as well as www.njlm.org. I've been asked to remind those dog owners who haven't licensed their pets to do so. Licenses expired at the end of January. When licensing, you will now be assessed an additional $15 late fee. Just a reminder to everyone that Sunday at 2 a.m. begins daylight saving time. Please remember to set your clocks ahead an hour. I would also like to remind our borough residents that the county clerk will be here on Tuesday, March 12th for county services such as passport applications and renewals. And lastly, our 4th grade winners of the Passaic County Clerk's Poster Contest will be here at the next meeting on March 20th, where we will recognize them. That concludes my report. At this time, I'd like to call on our borough attorney, Nick Sokolowski, for his report.
Thank you, Mayor. Affordable housing. So Hawthorne's affordable housing application will be heard by Judge Brogan in the Passaic County Courthouse on April 2nd, 2019. A meditation session has been scheduled for next week at the office of our planner, Mr. Burgess. Discussions with the owner of 204 Wagaraw Road continue to be difficult. We will continue to do what is best for the borough and not one developer looking to maximize its profit. Tax appeals. Residents are reminded that tax appeals for the current tax year must be filed by April 1st, 2019. Once filed, the matters will be heard by the County Tax Board at a date to be determined, most likely in June. Property owners should keep in mind that Hawthorne is in the process of a reevaluation of the entire borough, which will be effective beginning in 2020. As such, any tax appeal relief is only good for the current tax year. As to state court tax appeals, there are less than 10 properties under appeal right now, an all-time low, which is a testament to the stable tax base the borough has achieved over the past decade. Christian Healthcare Center. After adoption of a developer's agreement at our last council meeting, Christian Healthcare Center expects to break ground on its new facility as early as next week. 199 units of housing, with 51 being in Hawthorne and the remainder in Wyckoff, are planned. It is important to note that no vehicle access to the site will be allowed from Emmeline Drive, safeguarding the neighborhood interest of our residents. Bandshell. The committee is very excited about the 4th season of Bandshell performances. The Bandshell has been a huge success, favorably mentioned in the recent article about Hawthorne in the Sunday New York Times real estate section. Concerts and movies are presented free of charge thanks to donations of generous supporters. We hope that we will continue. Opening night is Father's Day night with Joe Ziza and friends performing hits from the doo-wop era of the late 50s and hits from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Radio Nashville will be performing great country music on August 6th as the climax to a national night out. And Fight for Autism 4 has been scheduled for September 8th. The Bandshell is working with other performers to bring a variety of top-class music and family movies to the borough. That, Mayor, concludes my report.
Thank you, Nick. On to our borough engineer, Alexandra Clavijo.
Thank you, Mayor Lewis. The Bandshell and restrooms improvements. The contractor has been on winter shutdown. As soon as the weather breaks, he will start the ADA viewing pad and path construction. Goffle Hill Road Tank and Mary Street Tank LSRP services. The plans and specifications for the remediation associated with the Goffle Hill water storage tanks are completed. The following bid schedule is proposed. Advertised on Monday, March 11th, and receive bids on the 28th. Pending the review of the bids, the borough could award on Wednesday, April 3rd. Additional samples are required for the Mary Street water storage tank. Water Assessment Management Plan Phase 3. Phase 3 of the Assessment Management Plan is being prepared. We are on schedule to be completed by April 2019. Water System GPS Field Survey and GIS Services. GPS location of the remaining service connections with DPW personnel is expected to begin this month. 2018 Road Program. Closeout documents are being prepared and will be submitted to the borough with the receipt of the maintenance bond from the contractor. Lafayette Avenue Streetscape Phase 2. A pre-construction meeting is being scheduled for either Wednesday or Thursday, March 13th or 14th. Mary Street Tank Painting. The insertion valve is installed and the tank is sterilized and filled. Sample results for the sterilization are expected any day now. If the results are accepted, the tank is ready for use. 2019 NJDOT Municipal Aid Application. Arlington Ave Phase 2 and Alexandria Avenue. We are waiting for the DOT's announcement of the grant. Grant award.
That's not on our list.
Library roof leaks. Piano roofing indicated 3 dry days in a row with temperatures for those 3 days above 35 degrees is required for the materials associated with the library roof improvements. Hawthorne is first on the list once these conditions are met. Wagara Road Tennis Courts. The tennis court tile colors have been selected and are on order. Weather permitting, the installation is expected to begin late March. Tax map updates. A revised set of tax maps were provided to the tax assessor on February 22nd. South Station effluent pumps. The pumps are on order. A schedule was requested from the contractor VNL Incorporated and is expected by the end of the week with an update on the receipt of the pumps. 2019 Community Development Block Grant. Hawthorne applied to the state county for a grant to address handicap ramps. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Alexandra. Now Borough Administrator Josh Kabuski will give his report.
Thank you, Mayor Lewis. On our agenda tonight is Resolution R-65-19, which authorizes a contract settlement with the UPSEU Blue Collar Union. As explained in a memorandum previously distributed to the council, the terms mirror ones in either the UPSEU White Collar Agreement settled last month or the PBA agreement settled last fall. All three have a similar percent cost increase for the borough. The Blue Collar membership has already ratified this settlement. Assuming adoption of the resolution tonight, all three of our unions will have agreements that extend until December 31st, 2022. Also on the agenda tonight for introduction is Ordinance 2230-19, which will implement the salary changes for the previously approved white-collar contract. Ordinance 2228-19 provides a change in purpose, but no additional money to allow funds previously appropriated for the swimming pool to be used for other improvements at the pool, including restroom renovations and a new slide. Plans for these improvements are moving forward so that they are in place for this coming summer. Bond Ordinance 2229-19, if adopted, would authorize the issuance of debt to purchase a new tower truck for Fire Company Number 2. The timing of this ordinance will allow the authorized debt to be included in bonds we plan to sell this summer. Further council action will be required later this year after further review with the fire department and the council's Public Safety Committee. Following tonight's public hearing on our open space application for pathway lighting at the band shell, I ask that the council adopt Resolution R-66-19, which would authorize submittal of this grant application to the county. The borough will submit its community development grant application for construction of ADA curb ramps to the county by next week's deadline. This was authorized by a previous council resolution. Requests for proposals for custodial services and grass cutting service, as well as a bid for animal control services, will be received and opened on March 13th. Assuming that we get good proposals, we should be able to award all three at the next council meeting on March 20th. A request for proposals for a spring tree planting contract will be advertised next week. We should be able to award this contract on April 3rd. The administration will continue to work with the Finance Committee towards adoption of a 2019 municipal budget. That concludes my reports this evening.
Thank you, Josh. Now Police Chief Ezekiel Soma will give his report.
May you please stand up?
This morning we received word that the Safewise Security National Survey had released its annual 100 Safest Cities in America report, placing Hawthorne on the list as the 17th safest city in the nation. These findings were based on 5 primary topics: reductions in violent crimes, crimes to property, and increase in digital security, environmental issues, and health and wellness. The men and women of the Hawthorne Police Department continue to provide exceptional police services that deters and reduces crime, brings offenders to justice, protects citizens and their property, addresses traffic concerns, and provides a comfortable and safe atmosphere for anyone within the borough's limits. The department strives to keep pace with new advances, best practices, and tactics in the law enforcement application, and trains officers on a continuing basis to attain this. This is not possible without the support of the mayor and council. Also, with the cooperation of Mayor Goldberg, the entire municipal council, the police department has partnered with the Hawthorne Board of Education, the Hawthorne Boys and Girls Club, as well as the Hawthorne Municipal Alliance to provide quality education to our children and residents of the borough of Hawthorne with 16 different public education programs from kindergarten to our senior population. One of these programs is the Junior Police Academy. The next Junior Academy begins on Monday, March 11th, 2019 at 7 p.m. at the Lincoln Middle School. Applications are on the borough website, or 6th, 7th, and 8th graders can register on Monday night. Another program is our annual leadership camp at the Lincoln Middle School. This year's camp runs from August 12th to the 16th. Applications are online or can be picked up at the police station. As always, Residents are reminded to report a problem or suspicious activity by calling the Hawthorne Police Department at the time of the occurrence and not on social media. The quicker something is recognized to be out of the ordinary, the quicker we can respond to provide the best service to the community. In closing, I want to thank the Mayor and Council for the proclamation I received at the awards dinner on Saturday evening. It was enjoyable, heartwarming evening spent with many friends and Borough Hall employees.
Thank you, Ezekiel. Now CFO and Director of Revenue and Finance, Erin Foley, will give her report.
Currently, I have been working with our auditors to complete our annual financial statement, which is due by March 11th. This report helps to complete our annual audit. We just completed a successful tax quarter, with our next quarter being due on May 1st. Our tax bills are mailed out only in July with a coupon for the 4 quarters that are due throughout the year. Currently, our property tax rebate forms, our PTR, are being accepted. In the beginning of the month, we will be receiving this year's PTR1 booklets for the residents that would like to apply. And thereafter, the state will send out the PTR2 forms directly to your home. Our annual debt statements, ADS, was completed in January, and I will now be issuing a supplemental debt statement, an SPS. This meeting for bond ordinance for the new fire truck will be purchasing for Tower 2. A resolution will be submitted for payroll and for redemption of a tax sales certificate prepared by our tax collector.
Thank you, Erin. Now Director of Public Works, Chris LaRosa, will give his report.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris. I'll be speaking on behalf of the DPW and Mr. Scully that couldn't make it here tonight. First, I want to say a lot of things are going on in the DPW. A lot of good things. We are for the people. I want to say, yes, our contractors have been, we're working. But we're getting better, and we're making improvements every day. The phone calls we get, the angry phone calls we get, they all help, and that's what DPW is here for. Next, a lot of big moves we've been making. So, in town, yes. There's a garage in the DPW. Yes. As I was saying, the DPW garage is complete now. Our trucks are safe from harm's drastic weather patterns lately, yes. And reduce, reuse, recycle. Yes, that's all I have.
Thank you, Chris. Now, Borough Clerk Alexander Rashley will give his report.
Thank you, Mayor Lewis. In regards to the 2019 elections, both council ward seats and Democratic County Committee seats are up for the election this year. Please remember to register to vote if you're not already. The deadline to register is 21 days before an election. Applications are online or in my office. Primary election takes place on June 4th and the general election on November 5th. Polls are open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. In terms of garage sales, the season will be upon us sooner than later. Just a reminder that you're allowed 2 sales per year, 3 consecutive days each sale. Sale number 1 is $5, sale number 2 is $10. Applications are available on our website, www.hawthornenj.org, or in my office. We are currently having an online auction of surplus property underway. There are 7 vehicles and miscellaneous DPW equipment and tools for sale. The auction website is www.govdeals.com. Type Hawthorne in the search field. The auction closes March 14th at 10 a.m. The county clerk staff visits Borough Halls monthly to offer the following services to our residents: passports, notary oaths, and veterans IDs on the second Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Surrogate services on the fourth Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Lastly, I would like to wish Mayor Goldberg a very happy birthday tomorrow. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. That will conclude the administrative agenda, and we'll be happy to answer any questions the council may have at this time.
Does the council have any questions?
Yeah. Okay. Hawthorne Square has not shoveled their sidewalks on Fifth Ave. Have any warnings or violations been issued?
Not of my knowledge, but we'll check.
Okay. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the families of the recent accidents. Thank you, that's all.
No.
Yeah. Is there an update on the new zoning ordinance? Kabuski.
Okay, so our planner is injured and out of work, and we should be getting it within the next 2 weeks.
Thank you.
No problem.
Is that all? Okay. Can I get a motion to record the administrative agenda?
Motion.
Motion by Jimena Gonzalez, second by Kylie Rica. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Introduction of ordinances. Ordinance number 2228-19. An ordinance to amend bond ordinance 2197-17, providing for the replacement of filter pots and other improvements including piping, mechanical equipment, pumps, and electrical improvements. All at Hawthorne Memorial Swimming Pool, in and by the Borough of Hawthorne in the County of Passaic, New Jersey, by adding thereto rehabilitation of restrooms including flooring, plumbing, and piping, and locker replacement, and installation of a slide and canopy as additional purposes thereunder. Be it resolved, this ordinance does now pass a first reading, and said ordinance be further considered for final passage at a meeting of the governing body in the municipal building, 445 Lafayette Avenue, Hawthorne, New Jersey, on April 3rd, 2019 at 7 p.m., at which time and place all persons interested will be given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same. And the clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance in the Hawthorne Press once and posted on the borough website at least 1 week prior to said hearing, with a notice of its introduction and of the time and place when and where said ordinance would be considered for final passage.
Motioned.
Motion.
Discussion? Okay. Okay. Administrative, is there any, like, cost of this, or is it just like floating around? No.
Is this just a change of scope?
Is this just a change of scope?
Pretty good ad lib.
There's about 100,000 left in the ordinance, and we expect to spend about 80 to 90% of it.
That's what we figured, thank you.
That's what we figured, thank you. Okay, wait, I lost. Roll call.
Ramos?
Yes.
Yeah. Carone?
Yes.
Molinelli?
Yes.
Rica?
Yes.
Gonzalez?
Yes.
Corba?
Yes.
Motion carries.
You forgot one.
Oh.
Kawash?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Bond ordinance number 2229-19. Bond ordinance providing for the acquisition of fire department capital equipment, specifically a fire tower truck in and by the Borough of Hawthorne in the County of Passaic, New Jersey, appropriating $1,400,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of bonds or notes of the borough in the amount of $1,330,000 for financing the same. Be it resolved, this ordinance does now pass a first reading, and said ordinance be further considered for final passage at a meeting of the governing body in the municipal building, 445 Lafayette Avenue, Hawthorne, New Jersey, on April 3rd, 2019 at 7 p.m., at which time and place all persons interested will be given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same. And the clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance in the Hawthorne Press once and posted on the Hawthorne website at least 1 week prior to said hearing, with a notice of its introduction and of the time and place when and where said ordinance would be considered for final passage. Have a motion.
Second.
Motion by Kylie Rika, second by Kawash. Okay, motion carries. Oh wait, roll call.
Any discussion?
Any
Gonza-
discussion?
You're the worst ventriloquist.
Roll call.
Gonzalez,
Abstain. Since I'm on the
Kawash,
third part.
Yes.
Rika,
Yes.
Molinelli,
Abstain.
Carone,
Yes.
Ramos,
Yes.
Corbo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
An ordinance number 2230-19, an ordinance to amend ordinance 2219-19, fixing the salaries, wages, and compensation of employees of the Borough of Hawthorne so as to conform with the terms of the collective bargaining agreement entered into the Borough of Hawthorne and the UPSU White Collar Unit. Be it resolved, this ordinance does now pass a first reading, and said ordinance be further considered for final passage at a meeting of the governing body in the municipal building at 445 Lafayette Avenue, Hawthorne, New Jersey, on April 3rd, 2019 at 7 p.m., at which time and place all persons interested will be given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same, and the clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance in the Hawthorne Press once and posted on the borough website at least 1 week prior to said hearing, with a notice of its introduction and of the time and place when and where ordinance would be considered for final passage.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
You got two more.
Okay. Motion by Kylie Rika, second by Mena Gonzalez. Roll call?
Ramos,
Yes.
Carone,
Yes.
Molinelli,
Yes.
Rika,
Yes.
Kawash,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Corbo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolutions. Consent agenda R60-90 through R66-19. R60-19, Borough of Hawthorne payroll dated February 15th, 2019. R61-19, redeemed tax sale certificate. R62-19, LOSAP benefits for eligible fire department members. R63-19, LOSAP benefits for eligible ambulance corps members. R64-19, award contract for pistol range improvements. R65-19, ratify UPSEU blue collar unit contract. R66-19, approve application for 2019 open space grant funds.
Motion.
No, you can't.
Motion, sorry.
Okay.
Motion?
Okay,
Second.
motion by Kylie Rika, second by Lila Kawash. Roll call?
Gonzalez,
Abstain on 62-19, yes, all others.
Kawash,
Yes.
Rika,
Yes.
Molinelli,
Abstain from 6219 and 6319. The rest, yes.
Carone,
Abstain 6419. Yes on all others.
Ramos,
Yes.
Corbo.
Yeah.
Motion carries.
Reports of special council committees. Councilwoman Manelli, Councilwoman Rika, Councilwoman Ring.
Just let Manelli do it.
Oh, okay. Councilwoman Manelli.
Oh. The reorganizational meeting held on January 17th, Frank Cabral Jr. was nominated and voted on for president. Dog licensing takes place in January, and so far approximately 900 licenses have been issued. As of February 1st, all renewals have been an addition $15 fee, which is the late fee. Most of our restaurants, stores, pet daycares, and tanning salons and laundries have renewed their licenses. We have ongoing food donations from our pantry, which is always available to residents.
Councilwoman Rika.
The Hawthorne Board of Education and Municipal Alliance Committee is having a Parents Awareness Night Monday, March 25th, 6:30 p.m. at HHS, tackling opioids through prevention for athletes. This presentation will include a viewing of full-frame close-up Prescribing Pain, a film that features a New Jersey couple whose son became addicted to prescription opioids after suffering multiple sports injuries in high school and died of a heroin overdose at age 22. And the Municipal Alliance Committee is hosting the HHS Senior Citizens Dinner and Show, Bye Bye Birdie, Tuesday, April 30th.
Councilwoman Ramos.
On behalf of the Public Works Committee, I'd like to formally commend our Public Works Department for the great job they did last weekend dealing with the not one, but two snowstorms. By 6 a.m. Monday morning, when everybody had to go to work, all of the main roads and most of the side streets were cleared right down to the blacktop, which made getting around much safer and easier for everyone. So to Bob Scully and his team, job well done. On another note, I want the 3 people injured in that terrible accident on Monday morning to know that our thoughts and prayers are with you, and we wish you all a smooth, speedy recovery. The next regularly scheduled meeting of the Public Works Committee will be Monday, March 18th at 6:30 p.m., which coincidentally is Victor Taraglia's, my bad. It's his birthday, so happy birthday, Victor. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Council Vice President Carone.
The Finance Committee met on Monday to begin the review process of the 2019 municipal budget. Our committee met with representatives from the Fire Department and reviewed the Police Department budget request. We will be meeting and reviewing the DPW budget request on Monday, March 11th. We will complete the budget review of all other departments and wrapping up the budget process on Monday, March 18th. The 2019 municipal budget will be represented to the entire council and public by Mayor Goldberg on April 3rd. We will also introduce the municipal budget ordinance at this meeting. The public hearing and adoption of the 2019 municipal budget will be held on May 1st. A copy of the proposed municipal budget is in the council room, and Eric and I will be available to meet with any council member if interested as the budget review process moves forward. Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilwoman Kawash.
The Ordinance Committee recently completed rewriting the entire zoning ordinance. This project took over several meetings over the course of many months. The ordinance, which is over 200 pages long, addressed many of the concerns expressed by the Board of Adjustment and will simplify the process for obtaining a variance for many small projects. It also created a new zone for single-family houses that are in the older areas of town and are on smaller lots. Under the old ordinance, many of the houses on smaller lots were non-conforming and forced homeowners to get a variance every time they wanted to do any work on their homes. The Ordinance Committee is waiting for feedback from the Zoning Board and the Planning before submitting to the entire Council for introduction and ultimately adoption. The Ordinance Committee will be meeting soon to address some new concerns that have been brought to the Council. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Shade Tree Commission Certified Forestry Maintenance Plan has been submitted to the state for approval. 2018 Hawthorne Shade Tree accomplishments have been submitted to the state. Spring planting will only be 31 trees. Lower numbers is because of more mature trees, stronger species. Arbor Day is April 26th, and the tree planting ceremony will be at Washington School, not the high school as originally reported, as all 3 trees have been eaten by the deer. Arborist meeting with a Boswell representative to review the road program in Ward 2 as the original request calls for 120 to be removed. Keep in mind we are only planting 31 in the whole town. Thank you.
Myself, Council President Corbo. The Planning Board met last night, and there was only one certificate of compliance application to be heard. A moving company was approved to move in and operate at the old Seaboard property on Van Winkle. It's a small moving company with about 4 box trucks and occasionally 1 or 2 tractor trailers if they get a large job. All work vehicles will be parked behind the front of the building, and only employees' cars will be parked in front of the parking lot. All trucks stacking will be on site. No outside storage or on-street stacking was a condition of the approval. And that concludes my report. Correspondence, none. Bills. Motion to approve the bills and forward them to the treasurer for payment. Motion by Councilwoman Kylie Rica.
Second.
Second by Lila Kawash. Roll call.
Ramos,
Yes.
Carone,
Abstain on Downs Tree Service and yes on all others.
Molinelli,
Abstain on the bill list. Abstain from fire, dep, and ambulance corps. Yes on all others.
Riga,
Yes.
Kawash,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Abstain on the fire department, yes on all others.
Corbo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Public comment. I will now open the meeting to the public. If anyone desires to be heard, please raise your hand to be recognized. Come forward to the microphone and state your name and address. Gentlemen. Okay. Him? Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Victor Alfieri from Wayne, New Jersey. I'm here to talk about raising backyard chickens. It's become very popular. I just want to make a couple of points. I think it's about putting things in perspective. And I have a dog. I own a dog, and I love dogs, but I do want to make a point about dogs. 4.8 million people are bitten by dogs every year in this country. 28 people are mauled to death on average. Last year, 40 people lost their lives to dogs. And I bring it up because in Hawthorne, you can have as many dogs as you want, I believe. There's no limit. Or is it 5 or 6? 5. Okay, so you could have 5 pit bulls in Hawthorne, New Jersey, but you can't have 1 chicken hen. Kind of ridiculous. And it's just a point. If someone has the right to own something like a dangerous animal like a pit bull or a Rottweiler or a German Shepherd, they should also have the right to have a couple of hens on their property. Also, I think one of the issues is disease. I think that'll come up. But I wanted to bring up that the CDC, which is what the health departments use to do all their reference. In the CDC, there's 21 issues that you should be concerned about as far as disease. 21 for dogs, 16 for cats, and only 5 for chickens. So we could clearly see that dogs and cats carry more disease. Dogs are clearly more dangerous. One of the things that comes up is salmonella. It's important to understand that you're more likely to get salmonella from your local supermarket, and cats and dogs also carry salmonella, along with things like snakes and stuff that people have in their homes. Also bird flu with chickens. But the one thing about bird flu is New Jersey's never had 1 case of bird flu, ever. So I bring these points up because I think people should be able to enjoy this wonderful hobby. It's all about health and sustainability. And like I said, putting things in perspective is important. And when I bring up dogs, it put things, you know, when you have one home that wants to have a pet, has a couple of chickens, and you have the home next to it that can have 5 barking dogs, but that person who wants to have a couple of chickens for fresh eggs is not able to do it. So I encouraged the mayor and council to adopt a new ordinance to allow people to enjoy this wonderful hobby. And remember, you put a law in the books, it doesn't necessarily mean it has to stay there forever. If it doesn't work out, if it's something the town or the residents can't handle, you could always get rid of the law. You don't have to keep it. Recently, a family had to get rid of their hens, 4 hens. There was no complaints, they had no issues. But they had to get rid of them. And this family, their children were devastated. Think about it. Someone telling you had to get rid of your pet. It's not a nice thing. So, you know, I don't know if the mayor wants to do that to their residents. I mean, people should, now keep in mind, if you have a pet that is causing havoc, by all means, the town should do something about it. Absolutely. But having 4 hens or 5 hens or 6 hens in the backyard with a coop and run, that's not bothering anybody. Residents should have the right to do so. So again, I encourage the mayor and council to adopt a new ordinance to allow people to enjoy this wonderful hobby. It's all about health and sustainability. It's about becoming healthier. It's up, you know, this is the next generation right here, all in front of us. It's all about them. I'm here doing this for my child. And I think if we want to improve our lives and our lifestyle and things like that, I think we have to start considering things like this. Remember, it's just a chicken, that's all. So, thank you for your time. And it seems like a wonderful night, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak. And some of you, if you want to raise hens, it's a wonderful hobby. You should let your councilman know. I see people shaking their heads. I'm sure there's people in here who want to do it. It's a wonderful thing to do. Another person. We do a show of hands on who wants to raise hands. You'd be surprised how many people want to enjoy this wonderful hobby, Mayor. So it's definitely something you should consider. Again, I'd be happy to help write a new ordinance. I've done it for many towns. I just got a call today from Mahwah, New Jersey, who wants to adopt a new ordinance, and I'm going to help them do it. So I'm available for you if you want to do that. And I thank you. Does anyone have any questions about raising backyard chickens?
No.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, Mrs. Frida.
Yeah.
You don't want to raise bears, do you?
Sorry. Hello, everyone. Rick Sprito, Superintendent of Schools, 18 Missinelli Court. First of all, I just want to congratulate all of our students tonight. I thought you guys did a great job. I also want to thank the mayor and council for once again providing this opportunity for our students to learn a little bit about municipal government firsthand. So we appreciate the opportunity that you provide for these high school students here in Hawthorne. I also want to thank the mayor and council, and I come every year, and I think this is a great opportunity as the superintendent of schools to thank you for all of the programs, not just this program tonight, but for all of the programs that you provide for our students. I know Ezekiel mentioned some of the programs. I mean, whether it's the police department, fire department, ambulance corps, municipal alliance, I can go on and on. The security partnership that we have, we appreciate all of it. So thank you very much. And again, thank you for tonight.
Thank you.
Oh my God, why did I clap?
Does anyone else wish to be heard? Oh, okay. None. I entertain a motion to close the public comment.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Jimena Gonzalez, second by Maria Angeles. Okay. Adjournment. Oh, roll call. Okay. Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Before we adjourn, I just want to thank our student counterparts for taking over for us tonight. I want to thank the Board of Education and the high school representatives for coordinating, getting us representatives to be us. Hopefully they had a little understanding on how we run our town business. I also want to thank Lori for coordinating everything, including the day's activities, coordinating with the school, tonight's dinner, and obviously tonight's program. So thank you, Lori. Great job as always. And before we leave, I'd like each student representative to, I know you're all from different grades, but generally it's people that are looking to move forward to go on to college. If you could all state your name, starting with our attorney, and we'll work our way around. State your name, what your grade is, and what your major is if you're thinking about, your career in college.
I'm Nick Sokolowski. People call me Nicky Joe. I'm a junior at Hawthorne High School, and I want to major in biology and work to become a physician's assistant.
Very good.
My name is Aubrey Lewis. I'm a junior at Hawthorne High School, and I'm looking to major in either biology or pre-medicine.
My name is Joshua Kabuski. I'm a junior at Hawthorne High School, and I'm looking to major in finance or engineering.
My name's Jimena Gonzalez. I'm a junior in high school, and I'm looking to major in either nursing or law.
My name is Lila Quash. I'm a junior, and I'm looking to major in political science or just law.
My name's Caitlin Carone. I'm a junior, and I want to major in social work.
Hi, I'm Bianca. I'm a junior, and I want to go into business and marketing.
Hi, my name is Adriana Ramos. I'm a junior in high school, and I would like to become a nurse because I love helping people. I don't know, it's just... I feel like that would really work well with me and the way I am with my personality. So, yeah.
I'm Kylie Rika. I'm a junior at Hawthorne High School, and I want to major in musical education.
I'm Maria Angeles Milanelli, and I'd like to major in music education or regular education.
I'm Alexander Nadirashvili. I'm a junior at Hawthorne High School, and I'd like to major in English literature.
Marin Foley. I'm a freshman, and I'm thinking about performing arts.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Clavijo, and I want to major in law.
Gentlemen?
Oh.
My name is Chris Rosa. I don't know what I want to pursue yet, but something along the lines of business or real estate, one or the other.
My name's Ezekiel Soma. I'm a junior, and I'm looking to major in history or teaching field, and if not, I can always fall back on like clown college.
You can sit up here. Well, once again, thank you for all of you for participating.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Motioned.
Second. Motion by Maria Angeles, second by Caitlin Cron. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Should I read? Okay. The next regular meeting of the Municipal Council is scheduled for Wednesday, March 20th at 7 p.m. Thank you and have a good night.